Yata for the sound of the mind calm, body at ease, breathing quiet, sentiment benevolent. Dharma friends, sitting still in vital silence, wanting nothing, we practice equal Buddhism together. The sound of the temple bell booms for all to cease from conflict. May the way of Buddha usher in the dawn of nonviolent global village forever. Here is the after sound of thunder of silence, light after Dharma rain. Amoga. Varochana Mahamantra. Manipadme Jvala Ravartaya.
We stand and face our altar for the chanting of the three refuges. We chant in Sun Queen, which is in keeping with our tradition, which comes from the monasteries, Sadhguru. And then what do you do? So if it really try to hold your voice in, it's a sound as much as it's anything to do. And the English version. Please repeat. I go for refuge to the Buddha.
I go for refuge to the Buddha
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment.
I will cultivate a heart of enlightenment
And realize the great way.
and realize the great way.
I go for refuge to the Dharma.
I go for refuge to the Dharma
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will penetrate the teachings.
I will penetrate the teachings
And uncover oceans of wisdom.
and uncover oceans of wisdom.
I go for refuge to the Sangha.
I go for refuge to the Sangha
And resolve with all beings.
and resolve with all beings.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many.
I will seek peace and happiness for the many
And transform this world into Buddha land unimpeded.
and transform this world into Buddha lands unimpeded.
Please remain standing. We have added a third candle to the altar, the center one. For each of our services, we have some special verses. So after I read them to you, we will make 3 constellations of vows. Showing our basically our solidarity with the Spirit. On the 16th day of June 2024, we acknowledge that this land where our temple buildings stand has been the home of Native peoples, Potawatomi, the Ottawa, and the Ojibwe, the council of the 3 higher tribes, and also of Black Americans. We know that this neighborhood used to be historically a Black neighborhood during times of racial segregation and oppression, and in fact, it's historical. Temple building has been in residence of Black Americans. For our own awakening and for the awakening of all life, may the benevolent energies of our meditation, chanting, and full presence here at the service this morning extend to all beings on this planet and throughout time and space. May there be a deepening of our interbeing. May peace prevail and wars cease. Let us do 3 deep bows in solidarity before another short period of meditation. Please move to your mat and cushion chair with your heels touching the mat. And then at the sound of the chuppy, we will bow and sit down on our mats and cushions. And appreciation, that's why we develop a space where we do practice. For 5 minutes, over and over again. And once again, fresh in each very moment. Practice and you shine. This all along with some simple mindfulness energy exercises. Especially this morning, being present with your hands. What your hands are doing affects your brain a great deal. Of course, of your whole body. Let's put more of an emphasis this morning on your hands. Exhaling to do this. Let's see my fingers together. Feeling the spine strength first to your left. Open your eyes around as far as you can. And feeling the hands. And change sides. Returning to center. Hands in. Gentle twist. Let the first finger and thumb just touching. But you can be even more attentive to the change. Release the fingers, giving them a bunch of it. Slowly. Turning your spine, every first breath to the right. stretch your legs if you need to and sit comfortably. Turning a little bit in this direction. Testing. Work. Such a pleasant breeze with bright sun this morning. One chicken with a bandaged foot in a coop. 10,000 things which were in the basement are now on the front porch. Did you notice? And it's happy Father's Day. Welcoming from the 10 directions and good morning.
Morning, Dr. Susan.
When the Buddha was near the end of his life, he traveled around the part of India, northern India, going to many of the towns and villages where he had taught through his 40 years of teaching. And he emphasized, when we read the scripture about that time, the 3 great learnings. It's interesting because he just repeats them over and over again. The 3 great learnings are samadhi, if I can get the name of Pali words. Samadhi, help me, my son.
Oops.
Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, neither of us get it, but let's see, I can just say them in English. It is concentration, is one of them. Morality or ethics is another. And wisdom. Yeah. So let's get those original words. First of all, concentration.
Samadhi.
Samadhi.
And then after samadhi,
Shila.
Shila.
morality. And finally, as a result of those, wisdom.
Prajna.
Prajna.
So he really drove it down with everyone in a certain sense. Those are really, really important. So before I start the body of my talk today, I'd like to have us repeat the precepts. Many of the people in this Sangha have already taken the precepts. Please put your hand up if you have already taken them. So, and some of you right now are in the process of taking the precepts. Could you please put your hands up? Let me see. What about over here? He's already taken them and he's reviewing them. Is that right?
Renewing.
Well, Well, it's reviewing.
Yeah.
Because it's really important for us to renew. We get a certificate and it has the precepts in it. And it's always a good idea to put them somewhere nearby so that we can review them. And in that case, often renew them. How many do that? I don't. So I think I'm going to, as a result of sitting here today, start doing that. Because it's really important for us to renew and review and all of that, the good values in our lives, and the ones that we feel are particularly important to us. Because we often get in touch with difficult circumstances, and our karmic habits can sneak in instead of the habits which are the ones which we really value, keeping the precepts and all of that. So let's go through them, and even if you haven't taken them, but if you feel like you'd like to work with the spirit of them, after each one say, yes, I will. Yes, I will. All right. So repeat after me, please. The 5 traditional precepts
The 5 traditional precepts
and 3 contemporary ones.
and 3 contemporary ones.
Number 1,
Number 1,
I resolve to abstain from doing harm,
I resolve to abstain from doing harm,
but to cherish all life.
but to cherish all life.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes.
Yes, I will.
Number 2, I resolve to abstain from taking what is not given, but to respect the things of others.
I resolve to abstain from taking what is not given, but to respect the things of others.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
Number 3,
Number 3.
Number 3,
Number 3,
I resolve to abstain from engaging in sexual misconduct,
I resolve to abstain from engaging in sexual misconduct,
but to practice purity of mind and self-restraint.
and practice purity of mind and self-restraint.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes,
Yes, I will.
Number 4,
Number 4.
Number 4,
I resolve to abstain from lying,
I resolve to abstain from lying,
but to speak the truth.
but to speak the truth.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
Number 5,
Number 5,
I resolve to abstain from partaking
I resolve to abstain from partaking
in the production and trading
in the production and trading
of firearms and chemical poisons,
of firearms and chemical poisons,
or of drugs and liquors
or of drugs and liquors
that confuse and weaken the mind.
that confuse and weaken the mind.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
The 3 contemporary precepts now. Number 6,
Number 6,
I resolve to abstain from wasting,
I resolve to abstain from wasting,
but to conserve energy and natural resources.
but to conserve energy and natural resources.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
Consider the bell sounding, that's wonderful. Number 7,
Number 7,
Number 7.
I I resolve to abstain from harboring enmity against the wrongs of others,
I resolve to abstain from harboring enmity against the wrongs of others,
but to promote peace and justice through nonviolent means.
but to promote peace and justice through nonviolent means.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
8.
8.
I resolve to abstain from clinging to things
I resolve to abstain from clinging from
that
things
belong to me,
that belong to me,
but to practice generosity and the joy of sharing.
but to practice generosity and the joy of sharing.
Will you endeavor to keep the spirit of this precept?
Yes, I will.
It's an old story from the 4th century about a blind turtle swimming in the ocean, looking for a log with a hole in it so it can climb up to get rest. You can imagine how difficult that would be for a blind turtle and swimming in the ocean, which is very large. So it's been said in the tradition that as rare as that is for swimming, and finding rest, is it for you to have been born as a human being? And especially so that you are encountering the Buddha Dharma. That is rare. You think of the millions and billions of people on our planet Earth and what they're doing right now. Some of them may be in temples and just like we are. But not so many. So this is a rare thing for us. And we should really value our being alive and well, and also that we have encountered the Dharma. Even if it's the first time and we just arrived in the world, it counts a lot. So, many years ago, when I was a mother of a 6-year-old and 11-year-old, 2 daughters, I, with another family from the Sangha, went to a retreat in Santa Barbara, California. And the person who was leading the retreat was Thich Nhat Hanh at the time. How many of you have heard of Thich Nhat Hanh? Mostly all of us have. Because he certainly made Buddhism user-friendly to us in the West by his many books. And so it was a big deal for us to go to this retreat. And it was a lot of new people to his tradition, including us. And I remember meal times where really we were supposed to be keeping silence all the time. And it was really hard, especially for my kids, but a lot of kids. And they would completely have to calm us back down again. Okay? We're sharing our foods, being quiet, and lots of other encouragement. We went on long walks. The whole community, there was about 500 of us. And I would lose my younger daughter. She's funky, she just does. Even now, she still does whatever she wants. And so she would be lost. And so I would be looking for her in this crowd of all 500 of us walking. And there she'd be, holding Thich Nhat Hanh's hand. and walking around here. I figured if she's going to get lost, she better hang out with that guy. So also a lot of the activities were directed toward families and children. And there were lots of other people who were on their own without the families there. And so, and I've told this in the Sangha before, so some of you will have heard it before. For some time each day, I would have everyone with a piece of paper like this and some kind of crayon. I remember it being crayon. And he would have us write or create a piece of calligraphy character of calligraphy. And I'm going to teach it to you because it's a really important part of our practice. It can help us. So this is what, first of all, there's a line that goes like this. So please do that line. It's a straight horizontal line. With a little pizzazz, remember you're doing calligraphy. So bottom line, and then a vertical line down to that horizontal line, with a little pizzazz. And then from that vertical line out to the side, halfway up. We got halfway up? Yeah. Another horizontal line. And that little, a vertical line on top of that horizontal line is going down. And then a big circle. You can take the brush all around and touch up the parts that the brush didn't do very well. So let's go over it again. So a straight line, and then a vertical line, and then a little, the horizontal, and then the vertical, and then, and touch. Sometimes, because at the end of the brush, there's not so much ink, so you've got to go back and touch it up. Oh, here's what it means. Stop. Look deeply. And then respond. Pause. Stop. Look deeply and respond. I was trying to do that with our vacuum cleaner this morning. Because it would run for about 20 seconds and then stop. And then I'd take my finger and put the button down again, and it would start again, but then it would stop. And so I had to just keep, okay, I want to get the vacuuming done. I'm just going to go a little slower because I was planning really to rush all over the place, and I got the vacuum cleaner because I thought the broom and the little, what's it called? Dustbin would just be too slow. So this vacuum cleaner is kind of a Buddhist vacuum cleaner. And I tried to figure out what was happening. I couldn't, so I had to go with that. Finally, Magama, where's Magama? Yeah, Magama had to just say, let's put it away. Yeah. So I'm thinking that there's a lot of opportunities in our lives for this. Stop and look deeply and then respond. And I like to talk about the look deeply part. When I was in Chicago, I was away for a few weeks at the Chicago Temple. It was lovely. And I had to give some talks, and I happened to be on my computer one day, and there was something that just came up. I wasn't trying to find it, it was just there. Maybe that happens to us all a lot. And it was a talk that a woman by the name of Maria Ressa was giving to the graduates at Harvard. And she started out with the phrase, "Our world is on fire." And I thought, this sounds kind of interesting to me, because our world is on fire in lots of different ways, and I wondered what she had to say. And I took some notes and then thought that it really related to this. So Maria is a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and she's also a journalist for a newspaper, a media organization in the Philippines, which has been under a lot of strife. And Maria has been journalists, as journalists do, like, want to have the truth out. And the government has arrested her many times, and she's been in prison many times. In fact, she turned to the graduates and she said, I had to go to the Supreme Court of the Philippines to ask permission to be here with you today. So I'm out on bail. And then she said to them, is anybody here also out on bail? Not one hand. We're not. So these are things that interested me, right away to hear. And so I get out my notes a little bit. She started with saying, and things, a little introduction, which I'll share. And then she made 3 points about looking deeper. She said, times are complicated and complex. We face unacknowledged danger, technology making everything faster, more polarized, meaner, with insidious information. We often don't know the truth. Here's how to deal with it. I offer, she said, something. Number 1, choose your best self. Just like I said a little while ago in a situation, you don't go from your habitual patterns, because if we've got the precepts and meditation, wisdom of mind, each of you in your own configuration, choose your best self. Set and stay focused on your goals. Know the values you live by. So this is when you're looking deeply. How important is power? How important is money? That's what she said. How much will make you happy? The only thing you control in the world is you. So I often say, you can point out, but all the other fingers, these 3 fingers, are pointing back at us. So as much as we can say this, not right, or whatever, we have quite a bit of agency, because 3 fingers are pointing back at us. Too often we let ourselves off the hook, refusing to look at our own difficult and habitual patterns. We rationalize sometimes bad behavior. Our character is created in the sum of all the little choices we make. That's really a Buddhist thing. Pay attention to this very moment, over and over again. Our character is created in the sum of all the little choices we make. If you're not clear about your values, and she pointed her finger at this point, it's interesting to get pictures of the graduates too. Some of them were really paying attention, some of them, nah. If you're not clear about your values, you may wake up one day and realize you don't like the person you've become. Sometimes I do that just after some stupid thing I did the day before. I don't like I did that. Said that. So that's the one about choosing your best self as we look deeper. Oh, number 2. Turn crisis into opportunity. Crisis is here to stay, says Maria. She's a journalist. Yeah. Learn to embrace the worst scenarios we can imagine. Let's learn that. So that they're not a big deal that we make them. There is suffering, but the Buddha taught that there is a way beyond suffering. So learn to embrace the worst scenarios we can imagine. Learn to struggle harder for agency, for independent thinking. Learn to speak up and act. We all can do better. I feel that strongly. I think you might too because you're here. I'd like to be with people who are sort of in the same mindset and hear some teachings that might be helpful. And then what Maria said, and this really struck me deeply, the goodness of human nature is being tested. How could people be doing these things? Whatever they happen to be, like they're doing this, that, and looking that. Okay, so the first thing is your best self forward. The next thing is turn crisis into opportunity. And the third thing is be vulnerable. And the first thing she said, we have to lower our shields. All they do is create separation. In every relationship, in every negotiation, in order to move forward and accomplish anything meaningful, someone lowers their shield first. We might have experienced that. Brings down their ego, their defense mechanism. Then others follow. It's really inspiring to see somebody do that. I want to do that too, is the kind of thing that comes up. We have to be the person that somebody sees. I want to do that too, or the person we're with. Let that person be you. Because when you're vulnerable, you create the strongest bond. This is like the crazy whisper thing. You restore trust and the ability to find creative solutions to intractable problems. You become resilient and enable the most inspiring possibilities. But the thing about being vulnerable is that you're really honest about who you are and how you're feeling. And a lot of us, everybody else has a version of that too. I've been feeling like that. Gosh, I'm a mother, and some other mother talks and says about how things are so challenging. It really helps the whole group even open up. And we know that because we've had discussions in our Sangha, and people talk really honestly, and it has an effect. So then she concluded with saying, the war isn't just happening in Gaza, in Sudan, in Ukraine. It isn't just out there. Each of us is fighting our own battles for facts, for integrity. Alone, though, no matter how much of a superstar we are, we will accomplish very little. This is about what we can do together. To find what binds us together. Our meditation formula says, meditation is concentration. Concentration is oneness. Oneness is no self, no others. No self, no others is no birth, no death. The qualities, no birth, no death is true suchness. And this is really important. True suchness is intimate, immediate, spontaneous, and obvious. And friends, all of those are in this very moment. And it's about the little things that come up in each very moment. Intimate, immediate, spontaneous, and obvious. And then it goes, the way of Buddha awakening is everyday life. Ordinary. The way of everyday life, ordinary, is the way of Buddha. It's always in front of our very nose. And what we can do, just here, just now, just now. Isn't that beautifully hopeful?
Yes, indeed.
Isn't that beautifully hopeful? What's the song? I was trying to think of a song to sing at this very moment. Hey, so, let's see what the time is. Oh my, only a couple of minutes. It took so much time that the discussion we have not been able to have. Maybe though, we could just, a few people who feel it, what resonated with you? Perhaps may helped you to look at things in a different way. Not to speak long, but just in a moment. Take a pause. Look deeply. And respond. And it has to be a little short, because I was too long. This person might find it actually.
Thank you. For me, lower your guard down. Lower your guard down and lower your ego. Be the first one to lower your guard down resonated deeply with me. My brother and I have been having issues, and I realized that when we stand off and when we speak up, um, it helps move the relationship forward. When you give up your ego, when you give up, any hubris inside of you. So that resonated deeply with me.
It's working, so I'm just gonna come a little closer. Anybody else? This is, Alex.
In what you're talking about is vulnerability. So since it's Father's Day, I was spending some time with my dad last week, and we were coming home from a trip. And on the way, we were talking about, he's getting close to retirement age. And one of the things that came up, I just said, I like how much softer you're becoming. And he was like, yeah, I think I'm finally feeling like the things that aren't serving me, I can let go. So I could keep it longer, but I'll keep it there.
So he kind of put down his shield.
Yeah.
Thank you. The vulnerability thing piece also really is something I'm going to take with me today and really think about. The struggle for me is family conflict, which probably a lot of us have. And from time to time, one of my struggles is with my particular family members. I tend to put space and distance when I feel like I'm going to be hurt rather than engage and open up and be vulnerable. So I'm going to look at that. And the other challenge I have is sometimes we all have so many challenges that we're dealing with and lessons we're trying to learn that sometimes the other person I feel is too far away. They're too wrapped up in their, I don't know what the word would be. So even if I shift and I try to open up and be vulnerable, they may not see that. They may be so blind. They don't see me opening up. They don't see my attempt to be authentic with them because they are so stuck in their negative karmic loop or whatever you want to say. So then I have to find, like, how do I accept the fact that they may not be able to see me, even if I bring my best self? How do I deal with the fact that they may not change at all? They may not respond at all. That's a tough one for me right now, but I'm going to think about it because of your diamond talk. So.
Can you fix it so that the sound is loud?
So okay, I worked in broadcast, I can project. This day is actually pretty important to me, to take the step to be vulnerable. I'm about 9 months sober in about 6 days. That's not the hard part. This temple was very special to my father and his friend, who was also my therapist, when they got their USWs here. And they came here a lot. And this is the first time I've been back in about 5 years. And it's the first time was the celebration of life last week. And there's a certain bit about renewal, because I'm also a journalist, about how we find idiomatic meanings in the samadhis and our traditions and practice. And one thing that I took home is that peace is hard. And when you remove the barriers from yourself, you also can project more. And I wanted to share that, and so thank you for the moment.
Do we have time? Sure.
Thank you, Roger, for the reading. Everything you said was, everything she said was absolutely true. My teacher told me, he said, the only way to become invulnerable is to allow yourself to become vulnerable. And I learned to do that in my meditation practice. He said, I want you to learn to master your thoughts, master your words, and master your body. He said, in all things, be the master of what you say, do, think, and feel in every moment. And I learned that over the decades of my meditation practice, how to first stop, as she said earlier, and then allow myself the privilege of thinking, and then respond appropriately to every situation. And I like to say to my friend next to me, I've been sober for 47 years.
Yes.
And it was through that program that brought me to the Buddhist temple in my 11th-step practice of meditation. If you take the precepts, I encourage you to do so, because I live by that, and especially that first one. As you said earlier, do no harm, but cherish all life. And they talk about humans, animals, plants, fish, fowl. It does not matter. All has value. Thank you.
One more.
We need balance on that side.
Yeah.
It's all been on this side.
Morning.
Good morning.
What you said about putting your best self forward, being your best self, and trying to awaken that every day. I've been renewing my precepts this year with 5 of us altogether, yeah. And it's been a wonderful process in the most difficult and challenging year of my adult life.
to, on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, examine my values, question them, see where the rubber meets the road with my relationship to myself and my relationship to my Buddhist practice has been invaluable. So know thyself, do it next year. It's great.
Let's just take a moment to reflect deeply before we listen to our announcements. Maybe this is a thought. But deeply. And now to respond, we'll be listening to this guy, one of our young students.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Mama.
Thanks for coming out to meditate with us and practice with us this morning. We encourage all of you to pick up a copy of our 2024 summer fall schedule, which is on the table outside, and also to sign up to receive our weekly email bulletin. There's a sign-up sheet for that on the table too. So I'll just mention a couple of things here. We're going to have a long retreat, several days, June 28th to July 3rd in Chicago. So that's a good thing to do if you've attended several shorter retreats before. If you would like to attend your first shorter retreat, it's coming up on August 10th. So that's a Saturday. From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That'll be a one-day retreat here at the temple. And more information will be coming up as that approaches. We offer introductory meditation courses, which run for 5 consecutive Thursday evenings. The next 5-week session begins on September 5th. And then our yoga classes on Tuesday nights will resume on September 10th. So watch for more information on that. Remember what Haju was just saying about that retreat with Thich Nhat Hanh. And I'll bet some of you were thinking, boy, wouldn't it be great if we could do that? If we could go out in the woods and have a multi-day camp, a retreat, we could have meditation instead of in the Buddha Hall here. We could have meditation on a dock in front of a beautiful lake. And we could have Dharma talks outdoors under a big canopy tent.
Is this totally hypothetical?
It is.
Just imagining this?
You know what? Let's do it. We could do it. Yeah, we could do it. So we're going to do
What do
it.
we call it?
We'll call it Peace Camp.
Oh!
Okay. So Haju's been holding Peace Camp for how many years? 35 years? 30?
No, my older daughter is 43. So, yeah.
Yeah, several decades. So we currently are doing it at Camp Talahi, which is near Howell, about half an hour away from here. And we, in addition to having the meditation and the Dharma talks, we cook vegetarian meals together and we eat them together. And we have workshops on calligraphy and mindful parenting and art activities. There's a lot of kids there, so there's a lot of activities for the kids, and as a result, there's a lot of silliness and fun. And so there's a flyer about that if you're interested. It looks like this, Buddhist Peace Camp. It's on the table there. That will be held July 27th through August 1st. So for the first time, we're starting it on a Saturday instead of a Friday, because when people come for orientation, it's easiest for people to come on a Saturday morning. So Saturday, July 27th through Thursday, August 1st, you can pick up a flyer or go to BuddhistPeaceCamp.com to get more information. Yes,
Cool.
Haju.
I need a certified lifeguard. Is anybody?
We have a certified lifeguard now.
One?
Yes, we got one.
Oh, good.
Yes, through the universe provided for us. It's
Is there anything else that folks can help with?
Yeah, if someone knows how to repair a vacuum cleaner or troubleshoot a vacuum cleaner, it's right in that corner over there. It's charging now, so if someone wants to help with that. You know what you could help with? Right after the service, we're going to have Together Action for 15 minutes. And today's Together Action involves moving tables and chairs downstairs. So if you were here for Buddha's birthday and all those tables and chairs, we can get an assembly line going and move the tables and chairs downstairs and store them in the newly cleaned cubby downstairs. So,
I have a show of hands, who can stay for 15 minutes? Nice.
yeah.
Can I show a show of hands for a young person who can get up on the platform and help? All right, MC, you're on.
All right.
Right.
We will sound the muktak when we're starting that, just to call everybody to the outside. We'll be working outside the building in that corner. Thank you.
That door. Okay.
Yeah, awesome. Let's see what else. Recovery Dharma.
Recovery Dharma will be meeting at noon in the historic temple of the Big Yellow Building next door with all the treasures on the front porch.
Yeah. Okay. The temple is supported entirely by your kind donations of money and time. There's a fishbowl for monetary donations, or you could go to our website. And if you'd like to volunteer your time, right after the service, the 15 minutes of Together Action is a good way to do that. Also on Saturdays from 3 to 5, we always have a work party, usually doing work in the garden. And that's a nice way to meet other members of the temple and socialize as well. And we have some herbal tea right out here. Thank you.
Because we're not having yoga classes, we don't pick up the mats and cushions, but your care with them, especially folding the flap under so that the underflap doesn't show. And fluffing the cushions by taking your fist all around the cushions so that it becomes much higher. And putting it with the handle to that on the back side of the mat. Remember, each moment, just this, just here, just now, it all adds up.